welcome to an inspired reflection discussion where I pull a card and we really just think about what it means to us and maybe things that encourage us or inspire us, or maybe it's like, ooh, that's something I need to work on. It's essentially taking a card and using that as like a reflection prompt to think about life and motherhood and all the things that we're juggling and experiencing. So, this is a tarot deck. I feel like I've already covered how I approach it. I feel like it's super woo-woo. So sometimes it might be a conversation starter card. Sometimes it might be an affirmation card. Today it's tarot. So I will pick a card here. And this is the card here. So it is Two of Swords. It is this woman who has a blindfold on her eyes, and she's got her arm up in her hair, but it doesn't necessarily look like she is trying to take the blindfold off. She has her other arm up too, so it's like she's definitely like in mid-action. She has a black dress on. She has a tattoo on her arm. And then there's two crows, one on either side of her. And it's as if they have like strings attached to, well, maybe it's her hair that they're pulling on, or strings attached to her hair or something. And they're like cawing at her, it looks like. And I feel like it's giving the impression that they're kind of like controlling her or trying to pull her around. Or so the first thing that comes to mind, and so I encourage you, go ahead and look at the card and what kind of vibe are you getting? What is it speaking to you about, especially maybe something for you personally? For me, it feels like maybe she is feeling torn by all the noise and ideas of people around her, things that she's supposed to be doing or has to be doing. And she's maybe kind of become blind to the path that she would like to take. And so maybe she's kind of fighting, not like in a violent sense, but kind of like fighting to find that path and find that way. It's interesting because I can't tell if she doesn't look like upset or distraught. But yeah, it's kind of like these crows are just like noisy, squawking at her, getting after her, or trying to get her to do what they want her to do, that kind of thing. And it's like she's kind of like having to push forward in her own path and take her own path and choose the way forward. It's interesting because I feel like the crows make it look like a very negative kind of thing, but I feel like her demeanor doesn't feel like it's necessarily negative, not super upset or anything like that. So yeah, I guess to me that's really about like being mindful of where we are maybe feeling controlled or pressured by the expectations of other people, the wants of other people, maybe that's society, maybe that's social media, maybe that's people in your life personally, people who are saying, no, you can't do this, or you have to do that. And it feels like this heavy weight maybe on you, this like, I can't do what I want. It feels like your heart's heavy because you want something different. Maybe you even have a clear idea of what your vision is, what you want your life to look like. But it's like, I have to just keep doing this because that's what I'm supposed to do, or I have to do it because of X, Y, Z. A lot of times maybe it feels like I can't have the life that I really want and will enjoy because I need to care for this person. I need to answer to this thing. Which, side tangent, I think it's really important to recognize our agency. Maybe it's important to be able to recognize like, hey, I can take this blindfold off. Hey, I can shoo these crows away. Hey, I am choosing that this is something that is important to me. So maybe it's you have children that need a lot of care. Maybe it's you're caring for parents or grandparents. Maybe it's I really need to have a job to take care of my family financially. Maybe it's I'm a single parent and so I have a lot on my shoulders. all of those are very valid things that can feel like a lot of pressure. And I don't want to take away from that or minimize it. And at the same time, I know when we're in really difficult situations like that, recognizing like, hey, I'm choosing to stay in this place is important. The option to leave sounds absolutely ridiculous and like it's not even a possibility. But recognizing that, wait, that is a possibility and there's no way I would choose that makes us realize we have the agency in that choice. I feel like there's so many times when it feels like we have to do it because of somebody else that it makes it feel a lot harder. And so maybe it's like, I'm choosing to do this because I really, really love this person. Now, that's not to get confused with I'm doing this because I love a person and it being manipulative and abusive and things like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying this in like terms of like I need to care for my like I'm giving my child all of this attention and care because they need this extra care. I could maybe outsource that to somebody else. Technically, I could maybe, give them less care and do my own thing and listen to them whine and complain or whatever it is. But because I really do care, because this is really important to me, this is a priority to me to take care of this person, to care for this person, to keep my home, to whatever it is. This is the thing that I'm choosing. I think that's a really important element, no matter how big those things feel. Maybe it's not something where it feels so big, but there's other little things in life where it's like, oh, I have to do this for my kids. I think it's really helpful to frame it to I choose to do this for my kids. I choose to do this for my partner. I choose to do this for my family. I choose to do this for myself because that's the most important thing to me. So that's a side tangent. But anyway, I just kind of feel like she's like the picture in my image, the image in my head, the picture in my head is kind of like being stuck in the mud and just like trying to like wade your way through. I think maybe especially because of the way her arms are positioned here, it's like trying to just make your way out of that. And a big part of making our way out of that is first of all getting clarity on what we want to change, what we want different, what we're actually moving towards, what that path is, and then actually taking that action and moving that direction. So yeah, to me, that's what this is speaking to is really kind of knowing your path, recognizing it's the path you're choosing. Like this is a conscious decision, and moving forward on that path. Maybe fighting the crows away, maybe learning to have boundaries with yourself, with other people who are demanding things of you that are unnecessary, that don't align with your values, that you just don't have time for, all that kind of stuff, so that you can find that, sort of peace and joy and the life that you really want to live, right? So those are my thoughts. Of course, you can have your own thoughts. I always invite you to pause this and, take a look at the card and think about it for yourself too. And then I will read the description here for the book, which by the way, this is the Light Seers Tarot. If you're into tarot, I really love the deck. I think I like the imagery. So anyway, this says planning your future, making progress, activation, possibilities, the choice between your comfort zone and new adventures. Another thing that I was thinking about looking at the card is also just encouraging you, if you don't have an idea of maybe the path you want to move forward, taking the time to do that. I know if you're not used to dreaming and planning and goal setting and all of that, maybe it feels really hard, maybe it feels really challenging. But sitting and picturing yourself maybe a year from now, picturing yourself 5 years from now, whatever feels attainable for you. Sometimes I feel like it's easier to picture yourself, 20 years down the line. And sometimes it's easier to be like, okay, 2 years down the line, I have no idea what that future looks like. The way off future, whatever that looks like for you. Also just thinking about like in the present, what would help me feel lighter? What would help me feel less heavy? What would, ease this ache in my heart or this knot in my stomach? What would help me just loosen up and feel more at ease? Being mindful of those things can then maybe kind of help open up what you would like to change, what you would like to see different, how you would like to be living your life instead. And these can be big things, but these can also be little things. It might be things like um, what helps you start the day in a way that feels refreshing, or what really kind of just starts the mood for you in the day. What kind of mood do you want to have? What kind of like, what is your personality? What makes you happy? What lights you up? And how can you embrace that in the beginning of the day? Another tangent. Good way to not, I mean, a bad way to approach that, or a bad, typically, what I'm trying to say, typically opening our phones and going to social media is not the best way to regulate our system to follow what we really want, because instead we're consuming what other people are talking about, what other people want, what other people are putting into the world, instead of thinking about ourselves and what we want to share with the world. The values, the personality, the creativity, whatever you want to think of, your kindness and your love and all those things. So anyway, all right, I'll continue with the book. You need to make a choice to really do that thing you want to do or not. You can dream it and envision it, or you can begin to live it. Planning and imagining can have us feeling like the observers of a dream, and our action is the only way to bring that dream to life. It's time to choose between the wand that's cozily rooted. Oh, I'm reading the wrong one. Well, anyway, that was nice. If you want to, I guess I can finish reading this in case this speaks to you instead. It's time to choose between the one that's cozily rooted in the place you already know, or the one that leans into exciting new possibilities. Take a deep breath, because self-initiated change can be scary. The only way to make strides toward your goal is to make your move. Learn that thing, call that contact, make that decision. Non-action won't get you there, and will likely have you feeling the angst of dreaming the dream instead of walking the talk. Use the fire energy of the wands to initiate your shift. It's funny because I feel like that resonated a lot with what I was interpreting from the card. But this is actually Two of Swords. I was reading Two of Wands. Two of Swords is where we're actually going. So, all right, stalemate, a crossroads, making a difficult choice, opposing ideas or options, choosing the best route of action, and memory and thought. And then it says, you know that feeling of not knowing? It's time to make a choice, and it may seem like you are between a rock and a hard place. If you can't decide which way to go, it's because you can't see the bigger picture yet. The Two of Swords is whispering that you must move in one direction. Close your eyes and listen to your internal guidance system for your map. If your intuition has fallen unusually silent, it's asking you to trust yourself and your ability to discern and decide. Even in blindness, you already know the best way forward. When you act, the future will reveal itself, and it will help to move you toward your dream. Have faith that the universe is serving you the right experience. At the crossroads of duality, your analysis and overthinking will just get you buried in the quicksand of a million possible endings. So find peace of mind by trusting your judgment. When blinded, and then the affirmation is, when blinded by the unknown, I can trust myself to move toward the light. So my first thought there is, well, first of all, I feel like that was actually pretty well aligned with the other that this idea of like just making a decision and moving forward with it. This is really talking about leaning into your intuition, which I also fully agree with. But sometimes it's really hard to access that. We're so used to maybe, or if you're like me, we're so used to being taught how to think through things logically, how to respond logically, how to process and analyze and think through the pros and cons of everything, and then follow through on that. So if you're stuck in that and you can't make a decision, you can just choose one. Choose one or the other. And if it's the wrong one, you'll start to feel that. You'll start to feel the resistance in yourself. You'll start to hate it. You'll start to have not regret, but resistance I already said that. I don't know what the word is I'm thinking of. Anyway, um, it just will not go smoothly. You won't love it as much, that kind of thing. And then you can change your mind. It's okay to change your mind. But also, it's a great time to practice leaning into your intuition. That's something that I'm also very passionate about is women, I feel like we need to learn better or practice more listening to our intuition. We have so much power that we have easy access to. We have so many answers within us, especially for ourselves and our families, um, that we're used to giving the control to other people. We're used to people telling us how we're supposed to do things. Um, and that's not to negate the power of, outside information. I fully believe in that as well. But I think really learning to listen to our intuition and lean into that and follow that is super, super powerful, especially when it comes to vibrant living and trying to understand, okay, what is the balance? What are the pieces that are actually important to me to balance in my life? And then what are maybe kind of the right proportions with those pieces so that I really enjoy it, so that one piece isn't too overwhelming or, crowding out the other parts. And really finding that blend that works best for you. Um, yeah. And yeah, I liked how it's like analysis and overthinking will just get you worried. Um, so yeah, just trust your judgment and move forward with that. So um, I hope something in that resonated with you. I'm really curious if there's something maybe in your own personal life, with your family, with yourself, that really resonates with. And I wonder if this really helps you kind of come to that decision place and move forward. If you want to go ahead and keep journaling about this, go ahead, pull out your notes app, piece of paper, whatever works best for you. Think about it a little bit longer, and maybe you made that decision right now. Maybe it's something that you need to sit with for a few more days, this week, whatever that looks like for you. But um, yeah, I hope this was inspiring, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.